Well, the results from our second ever Oklahoma Gardening Program Evaluation Viewer Survey are in, and we're going to share those with you briefly here in a little bit. But I want to tell you, I was a little bit disappointed in the number of participants when you think about the total number of viewers that we have. But I want to tell you, the ones that sent them in, we really appreciate your comments. We really had a lot of positive things that were shared with us. Now, if you're wondering what I'm talking about, the viewer survey and program evaluation is a chance where you, the viewers, were able to write in for just about a 6-week period, request an evaluation, give us your feedback and comments on the show as well as any of the programming ideas. And really, it's too late to participate in that survey evaluation, but as usual, we always welcome any comments or suggestions that you have anytime throughout the year, because remember, this is your television program. Now, let me share with you a little bit about what we found in the survey evaluation. We had over 54 counties represented, that someone from that county participated, so that's great geographical representation, as well as some participants from Kansas, Texas, and Missouri, which we have a lot of viewers in those particular adjoining states, as well as Arkansas. But I think what we found out most of all was 99.6% of the people who participated said that watching Oklahoma Gardening has been worthwhile to them. And that's important to us because we want to make sure that our educational content is important. And 88% said it was very valuable. So again, that's very positive news for us to hear, that we are sharing with you some good gardening ideas. But most importantly is we want to know if people are putting, these words of wisdom, so to speak, into practice. And we found out that as a result of watching Oklahoma Gardening, 93% of the participants have implemented practices from the show. 84% have identified previous problems that they really didn't know about before until they saw them on the show, so that's also very encouraging. And also, you know that Oklahoma Gardening is produced by the Oklahoma Cooperative Extension Service, and we found that 72% of the participants have contacted their county extension office as a result of watching the show, and that may be for getting fact sheets or asking more questions or even doing soil sampling, and that's up from 59% 3 years ago. So again, we're very proud of the fact that you are using your county extension office, because they do have a wealth of information there. Even though many of the counties don't have horticulture agents, they have access to those particular fact sheets and specialists. Also, we found out that 81% of you have noticed some changes on the show, whether it's through our different formatting or subject matter, and 66% have recognized the fact that we have underwriters associated with the show, and 53% said that's a positive impact. And let me tell you that it really is a very important part of the show. If you notice, at the end of each show we have credits for program underwriters, and these are individuals or businesses or corporations who team up with us for an entire year, who either through in-kind or monetary support help us where we can travel a little bit more, visiting with gardeners across the state, doing programs. Most importantly, though, to just maintain the studio gardens here, where we've been able to expand a lot of the theme gardens and topics. And if it wasn't for them, we wouldn't be able to take the show to the level that it is today. So if you've never dropped them a line, it really is a positive impact that they're associated with the show. And I'd encourage you to write to them and say thanks for supporting Oklahoma Gardening. And let me quickly give you the addresses, because I know many of you will take the time during the holidays and the winter months to do this, because it is very important to us. Of course, for several years, Public Service Company of Oklahoma has been an underwriter. You can write to them at 212 East 6th Street in Tulsa, and that's 74102. Also, there's Southwood Landscape and Nursery out of Tulsa at a street address of 9025 South Lewis. 74137 would be their zip. There's also the Oklahoma Urban and Community Forestry Council, 2800 North Lincoln in Oklahoma City. And then, of course, Stillwater Equipment Company, which is a local John Deere dealership here in Stillwater, at Post Office Box 757. And I know that was pretty quick, and if you tape the show, you'll be able to go back and get them. Otherwise, you can drop us a line, and we'll be glad to share those addresses. And we would appreciate you dropping a line and saying thanks for their support. Now, the other thing we found out in this survey was that 81% of you knew that you could come and visit the studio gardens or tour the studio gardens, but only 36% of the participants did that. So let me again just invite you personally to come and see us here at our studio gardens in Stillwater, just west of the OSU campus. Now obviously this time of year there's not a lot to see, but we'll be offering tours again next year starting at the end of April through the end of October, so you can come on your own, or again if you've got a group of about 8 or 10 people, we can schedule a tour guide for you and you can get a personal tour. So not only can you get a lot of ideas from the show, but you can get further educated with just viewing and seeing the gardens here. So be sure and try to make a point to stop by and see us next year. Now really the meat of the survey evaluation was to get some educational topic ideas for next year, and I think everybody has their top 10 list, and we've put together ours, and these are the top 10 topics that people wanted to see more information about, or related topics for next year. And let me give those to you. 1 would be perennial flowers, 2 would be annual flowers, 3 landscaping ideas, 4 vegetable gardening, and we had a tie for 5th place between tree care and new products. Also 6 would be plant pest control, 7 do-it-yourself projects, 8 native plants, 9 wildflowers, and 10 shrub care. So I think from all the times that we visit with people and this correspondence that comes in really coincides with what the survey evaluation said too, and it seems to be a lot of interest in perennial and annual flowers and vegetable gardening and just ornamentals overall. So I think as a result of that, you're going to see a lot of these topics show up, especially in combination with the fact that next year is our 20th anniversary. And you know, when someone celebrates an anniversary, they have a tendency to always want to look back in their past and their history and see where they've evolved. Well, let me share with you some of the themes that we're going to highlight next year in our 95 season. Now these are themes that we'll do several segments on, visit with people across the state, but there'll also be display gardens here too. We'll have a cottage or historical garden, a native plant landscape, an American Indian garden, ornamental grass landscape, purple vegetable garden, a scented garden that will include a chocolate garden, a scented herb garden. The butterfly garden will be moving it to another location, but it was very popular. We'll also have an anniversary garden and an all-white garden. Now again, these are just some of the main themes that we'll be highlighting. Don't forget that we'll still be bringing you up to date on the basics of gardening, including water gardening, and also, again, new topics and products that you requested, but we really pride ourselves on being timely, up-to-date, and on the cutting edge with many of these products. So even though we have the themes we'll highlight, we'll still be doing a lot of the very basics to help either the advanced gardener or the new gardener. And again, we encourage you to write to us if you know of anybody that has particular gardens or garden centers or anybody with knowledge of these topics. Drop us a line and let us know about them, because we'd love to contact them and visit with them more about these themes. Also, if you have any garden related festivals in your area, be sure and let us know, and any programs or anything that you'd like for us to put on our viewers bulletin board at the end of the show. That's been a lot of success and a lot of interest in that too. So drop us a line, let us know about things that are related to the topics. And as usual, we encourage you to stay tuned for 95 season, because we have a lot of encouraging and exciting things planned, and we'll kick off the new season in early March, where we'll be celebrating 20 years of helping people and plants grow. Now it won't be long until the first of the year is here, and that always means the annual Horticulture Industry Show in Tulsa. And on today's Viewers Bulletin Board, I want to remind you that the meetings will be held January 6th and 7th at the Tulsa Junior College Northeast Campus. This is a meeting you should put on your calendar now, especially if you're interested in growing vegetables, fruits, nuts, Christmas trees, and herbs on a little bit larger scale. The meetings are loaded with educational programs, a trade show, and the chance to meet other growers. This annual program also hosts one of the best youth speech contests in the state. Now, any youth enrolled in 4-H or FFA programs from ages 9 and up are eligible to participate. Now, the participants are also encouraged to pre-register by December 15th. If you would like more information about the annual Horticulture Industry Show on January 6th and 7th, 1995, or the Youth Speech Contest, you can call area code 405-744-5405. Again, that's 405-744-5405. Well, as I mentioned earlier, today's program is the last of our new 1994 tape shows. But starting next week for a couple of months, you can enjoy reruns from the Best of Oklahoma Gardening series, highlighting some of the most popular programs from this year. The shows will be loaded with great educational information and color to help you make it through the winter and get some great ideas for next year's season. So on behalf of everyone here at Oklahoma Gardening, we wish you the best during the holidays and hope that you'll continue to join us each week for even more Oklahoma Gardening. And stay tuned now to get more information on how to get your orders in early and right away for the 1995 Oklahoma Gardening calendar.